Hello friends, in today's lecture we will discuss why transverse electromagnetic modes are not propagate through the rectangular waveguide, and we will also discuss why TE00 mode is not exist in a rectangular waveguide. First we will solve why transverse electromagnetic modes are not propagate through a rectangular waveguide. As we know that waveguide is a single conductor with a dielectric inside it, and in the transverse electromagnetic mode, the electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other, and they are also perpendicular to the direction of the wave propagation. So we can see here that electric fields are in vertical plane and magnetic fields are magnetic field lines are in the horizontal plane. So electric field and magnetic field both are propagating in z direction. We are assuming this is z direction, and all these three are perpendicular to each other. So to generate the transverse electromagnetic mode, there has to be a source of electric field through which the electric lines has to be produced and terminated at the outer conductor. So in the coaxial cable, there is an inner conductor, and electric field lines are generated from the inner conductor and they terminate at the outer conductor. And similarly, to originate the transverse electromagnetic mode, we have to require a current source. In the coaxial cable, we have a center conductor, and the current flow through this conductor, and these time varying moving charge generate the magnetic field. So in this diagram you can see that magnetic fields lines are showing by these dashed lines, and they are in the circular fashion around the conductor. This current source is absent in the waveguide and being a single conductor configuration. That is why transverse electromagnetic mode cannot be exist inside a waveguide. So this is the theoretical concept of why transverse electromagnetic modes are not generated in the waveguide. Now we will see the mathematical explanation of this definition. Now to solve the mathematical expression, we consider a rectangular waveguide, and we shall assume that the waveguide is filled with a source-free, lossless dielectric material, and its walls are perfectly conducting. And for a lossless medium, Maxwell equation in phasor form is given by del square Es plus k square Es equal to 0 and del square Hs plus k square Hs equal to 0. So here E and H are the electric field vector and magnetic field vector, and del square is the gradient. When we take the derivative of a vector quantity, that is called the gradient. K can be described as omega under root mu epsilon. Here E is the vector field, so it can be described in terms of Ex, Ey and Ez. Ex and Ey are the transverse component of the electric field, and Ez is the longitudinal component of the electric field, because that is the direction of the wave propagation. So we can write this equation. We can say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So we can write equation 1 in terms of its Cartesian coordinate. So we will get del 2 Ez upon del x square plus del 2 Ez upon del y square plus del 2 Ez upon del z square plus k square Ez equal to 0. This is the second order differential term, and this can be solved by the separation of variable method. So Ez can be written as Ex, Ey, Ez. We can describe this as equation 3 and this is as equation 4. So when we put the value of E from equation 4 to equation 3, we will get 1 upon x d2 upon dx square plus 1 upon y d2 dy square plus 1 upon z d2 by dz square equal to minus k square. Now in this equation, all the variables are independent and must be constant. So this equation can be rewritten as minus kx square minus ky square plus gamma square equal to minus k square, and minus kx square minus ky square and gamma square are the separation constants. So we will get the homogeneous equation, and all these homogeneous equations are described here. The solution of these homogeneous equation will be xx equal to c1 cos kxx plus c2 sin kxx. Similarly for y and z. Now the value of x, y, z from here we will put in equation 4, then we will get this equation. Now we are assuming that the length of the waveguide is infinite. So if the length of the waveguide is infinite, then there is no reflected waves, there is only propagating waves. So in this equation, the e raised to power plus gamma z representing the reflected waves and e raised to power minus gamma z representing the forward propagating waves. Because of this term will be vanished from this equation. That means C5 will be equal to 0. And now the rest of the terms we will multiply and we will get the two new equations for E and H. Multiplying these terms, we will get new constant, that is A1, A2, A3, A4 and B1, B2, B3 and B4. The value of all these new constant can be found by applying the boundary conditions. To find the value of E and H, we will again use the Maxwell's equation. So here we will use del cross E equal to minus j omega mu H and del cross H equal to minus j omega epsilon. Now when we will solve the kernel of these two equations, we will get the six equations in term of Ex, Ey, Ez and Hx, Hy, Hz. So by using these six equations, we will find out the value of Ex and Ey in term of Ez. So we will do the manipulation in this equation, like we have this equation Ex and it is in term of Hz and Hy. So we will try to replace this Hy in term of Z components. So we will get j omega epsilon Ex equal to del Hz upon del Y plus 1 upon j omega mu, and now these terms are X and Z terms. So we know that all the X, Y and Z component will varying in the Z direction. So here in this equation we have to take the second derivative of Ex term with respect to Z. So we will take the second derivative of this term with respect to Z. We will get gamma square Ex. Similarly, here there is only single del Z, so that is why we will take the first derivative of this term. So we will get minus gamma Ez and we will put these values here and we will get this term. And after manipulation, we get this term. So Ex is represented in term of Ez and Hz. Similarly, we can replace all these values and we will find the Ex, Ey and Hx, Hy in term of Ez and Hz. So by definition we know that in the transverse electromagnetic mode there is no electric and magnetic component in the direction of the wave propagation. It means Ez and Hz component will be 0 in the transverse electromagnetic mode, and when we will put the value of Ez and Hz in these equations, we will get all the components becomes 0. And if all the components become 0, it means there is no electric component and no magnetic component inside the waveguide in case of transverse electromagnetic mode. So that is why it is not possible to propagate a transverse electromagnetic component inside the waveguide. Now we will solve the next problem, that why transverse electric 0 mode is not exist in a rectangular waveguide. So for a transverse electric wave that is represented by TEMN, the Ez must be equal to 0 and Hz is not equal to 0. The solution of Hz for transverse electric wave is represented by C cos m pi x upon a cos n pi y upon b e raised to power minus j beta z. And when we will put the value of m equal to 0 and n equal to 0 in this equation, we will get a constant quantity. So Hz will be a constant quantity. So we are having a magnetic field without having electric field, but we have seen for a time varying field this cannot happen because time varying electric field and magnetic field are coupled. So if the electric field goes to 0, then identically the magnetic field also must be go to 0. because a time varying magnetic field cannot exist without electric field and vice versa. That is why transverse electric 0 0 mode will not exist in a waveguide.